yesterday, after the close, we got word that there was the president tested positive for the coronavirus, him and the first lady. And the Dow futures last night were down over 500 points. So we knew we were going to be in for a rough start. And like you mentioned, we opened up down over 400 points. But quickly, Congress, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, came out and said a relief bill is imminent. And it should be coming very soon. And as she said, especially for the airlines, there'll be something there for the airlines. So right away, we saw American Airlines and United Airlines both pop. American popped over 3%. United popped over 2%. And usually the transports can lead the market. They sure did. The market, from being down 450 on the opening, rallied back over the course of the day to be up slightly. But then it settled down, like you mentioned. We started to sell off a little, and we went back up a little, then back down a little, and then traded sideways. But we closed down about 130 points, which is good for what we opened up with. And it was overall a pretty good day for us. We got a jobs number, a little disappointing. We were looking for 800,000. We got 630,000 instead, which slow growth, but it is growth. So it is going in the right direction, but it's slower than we anticipated. But it was really the talk about the stimulus that really juiced the market. This could be, providing the president comes through on this, very healthy. But it could be a very positive, because if he can get sick, if the first family can get sick, anybody can get sick. And you're so right. We can't take this light, this virus. It's very serious. I wear a mask wherever I go. I'm home right now, so I don't need a mask on, and I'm talking to you. But I mean, when I go outside, I wear a mask. I think if this spikes, I'll even wear a face shield. I take this very serious. I stay out of crowds. I social distance. I wash my hands every day when I come home. I gargle with salt water. I take quinine. I drink quinine and tonic water. So I'm very cautious, and I'm not letting my guard down just because I've been very healthy through this all. And like you mentioned, they say it can spike up during the winter months, so you have to be very careful. And this could be a silver lining here, providing the president gets through this okay, and he starts wearing his mask. It could be a silver lining for the Republicans, because right now they're behind in the race. But should Trump pull out strongly, and he's looking like he might do it, then it could be a win-win for the Republicans. And you're right, the down ticket ballots are just as important as the president ballot, the top of the ticket. Because if Trump loses the Senate and doesn't win Congress, then he's a lame duck the minute he gets in office, and they'll be impeaching him like they always do. So I mean, he's got to keep the Senate, and it'd be great if he could win the Congress, at least for Republicans, if he could win the Congress, because then he'd have all three branches. But if, in fact, he gets sicker and he's in the hospital and unemployment numbers keep going up, I mean, you know, we had good numbers this month. Don't get me wrong. We had good numbers. They were a little slower. They still showed growth. But if they slow down and go negative again, then we have a problem. I think in the long run, the election, it's too close to call. It's in flux. And that's what's going to keep this market trading sideways till after the election. I think stick with growth, but I also think a lot of people I speak to, a lot of traders, they're recommending stay in cash till after the election. Because the election is very, very critical. And it's not just for Biden or Trump. It's critical for the markets. Because Trump, as you know, has low taxes and deregulation, and it's really spurred the market. On the other hand, Biden wants to raise taxes and stiffer regulations, which hurts businesses, and especially hurts small businesses. Regulations were crushing them under Obama. The president now, Trump, has loosened them up. Biden wants to put them back in effect, and that's going to hurt especially minority businesses. This has been a banner year for Latino businesses the last 4 years. They've flourished great, and so have black businesses. They've all done well under low regulation and less taxes. So I think we got to watch that. That's more important than who wins this. This shouldn't be about personalities. This should be about substance in the race. And I think if you want a European style government, then yeah, you have to vote for Biden. But if you want capitalism and see growth that we've had, you have to stick with Trump. So it's going to be interesting how this turns out. But again, It all depends, I believe, A, on the coronavirus. If there is a vaccine out there and it comes to market soon, that's going to help a lot. And if the president comes through this, like the warrior he seems to be, then that'll work out well for him and the Republicans. So it's going to be a close election. And I know on Wall Street, this uncertainty right now makes it too close to call.